In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a corner to corner, and I'm going to show you how to do the regular corner to corner with double crochet or doing back loops in order to create the beautiful ridges. Let's do that next. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do corner to corner, but we're going to do it double crochet style, so it's not the typical way of a corner to corner, but it's just straight double crochets going all the way across in order to create it. So we go from one end to the other. In today's tutorial I'm going to break it out into two parts, and we're going to determine how to do this as a complete square. But you know, most things are not square in life. Our beds are not square, most of them, and I'm going to show you how to make this concept also into a rectangle and show you the math involved in order to do it. Basically it's just a visualization in order to help you further. So let's do that first, and then I'm going to show you how to do the stitch work in order to make this possible. So in the square version of doing corner to corner, we start off in one corner and we continue to increase. So every time we get to the edge we add additional stitches in order to make this corner get bigger and bigger. So we're gonna start off and both sides are gonna grow and grow until we get to the size we want. Now if you're doing this square, it doesn't matter which side is which. You're gonna go until you get the length that you're satisfied with. So if you're doing a baby's Afghan, maybe about 36 inches, you can also lay this out on something or just hold it up and determine when you're satisfied with the width. Once you're satisfied and it is a square, you will decrease on the same row and start decreasing it, and as you decrease it'll get faster and faster and faster right to the finishing point over here. So we start here, we increase, and it starts out really quickly. We get slower and slower as we get to the middle part, and then once we get to the decrease part it'll get faster and faster because the rows will be less and less as you move all the way through. So that's how you would do a square. But what happens if it's a rectangle? Let me show you how to do that one. So here's a rectangle, and this is exactly what you're seeing here, and I have broken it down into different components here. So if this was square, just like you had seen before, you'll see that it looks like this. Okay, so just visualize this as if it was square and it cut off right here. Okay, that would be your typical square for corner to corner. So you're going to increase and increase. The thing about it is that you want it longer because you want a rectangle. So what you have to do is that in the square, when we got to the certain size across and up here, we decreased at the same time in order to bring it back to the point. With the rectangle we don't. So what we have here is that you get to the width, it doesn't matter. So this width in here will be exactly identical when you get to this point, and you determine which side is which. It doesn't matter, it's probably gonna look the same anyway. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to start decreasing. So on one side, all the rows, you're going to be doing the decreasing so it comes up on a straight edge like this. And the other side you're going to continue to increase so that it grows up just like this. Okay, so once you get to the total width that or length that you want for the total, if it was a bed, if you want the total length, is that this length here will match the length of your bed, and once you're satisfied with that, is that then you start decreasing here in order to bring it to a point. So this one will always stay here, decreasing all the way to this point, but it's this side here of the increase. Once you're satisfied, then you start the decrease in order to bring it to a point over here. So we start here, we get bigger and bigger, we get to the width that we want, we start decreasing on the one side only in order to bring it completely up. This side continues to increase like this. Okay, so you can see it's going up on a diagonal like this. Once you're satisfied with it, you're going to decrease this side in order to bring it to the point right over here. In my particular example, you can see that there's ridges here, and all the differences between the regular double crochet is that I use back loops in this in order to create these ridges, and every row I'm using the back loops, and you can see it's both sides. So you can see that we started off in the corner right here, and we've gotten bigger and bigger on the outside. But let me show you what the stitches look like in diagram format in order to really show you how easy this is. So when we go to start this pattern, we're going to be chaining a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and going 4 chain from the hook, we come back down and put in 2 double crochets into that chain, and the next one there will be 2 double crochets into the final chain. Okay, so that gives you a total double crochet count of 5. So this chaining of 3 counts as double crochet as well. The counts really don't matter at this particular point for this. What you need to look for is how you're gonna grow it. So when we go to start the next row, we're going to chain 3, and we're gonna put 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So this gives you 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then all the ones across will be just 1 double crochets into each, except for the final. There will be 3 double crochets into the top of the turning chain. We then move up, chain 3, and we put 2 more double crochets into the first one, double crochet all the way across, in the final turning chain we put 3. So if you can understand and see this, is that you're always starting off with 3 double crochets with this chaining of 3 counts as 1, and in the final we have 3 double crochets on the other side. This will keep this in square. Now I will caution you, at some point in this you're gonna question yourself whether it really is square. Sometimes it looks a little bit askew, and it will. It's just the nature of the stitch work. You just have to kind of just shift your work a little bit in order to make it look square. It wants to keep its particular shape. So that's how you would do the increase, and you will do that all the way until you're satisfied with the length or the width that you want when doing a square or a rectangle. So what you're gonna do is, how do you decrease then once you're satisfied? Let me show you that. So up here is the decreasing. So it's just a representation of what you're seeing here is underneath this particular line. So when we go to do a decrease, we chain up 3 and we grab the next stitch and the next stitch and make those 2 together so that these 3 just became 1. So see how we made this into 3? Okay, if you're looking down, we made this into 3. What we're doing is we're going backwards in the other direction and making these 3 into 1. We double crochet all of ourselves across until the final 3 stitches, and the final 3 will be 3 together. So you can see that they're together and those 3 just became 1. Now if this was a rectangle, what's gonna happen is that on the increasing side, as we go up like this, you're always going to put in the 3 double crochets in the end, but the other side you're gonna start doing the decreasing so that you can make it work. Okay, so you're gonna have your increase here of the 3 double crochets going in on the edge, and on this side you're gonna have the 3 double crochets coming together. Okay, so these are the 3 double crochets coming together, so you can see that it goes up in a straight line just like this. So without further ado, let me show you how to do the stitch work, and it's really quite easy, and now I think you understand. Let's get started. So let's get started. I'm going to be using Bernat Little Tots today. This is what I used to make the sample. It's a really beautiful baby yarn, and I provided a link in the more information on doing this pattern, as well as written instructions. So let's start off with the slip knot to begin, and I want to chain 5. So it's on the hook. Remember that 1 on the hook never counts as 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's go to the 4th chain. So count back to the 4th. It's the second one in, and we want to put in 2 more double crochets into that space. So 1 and 2, and then in the next chain, the final chain, you're going to put in 2 double crochets into that same one. Okay, so with the chaining of 3 that you started with, and then you put in 2 here and 2 here, you should have a total of 5. Let's turn our work, and you can already see it's starting to do a 90-degree angle. Let's turn our work and move up to row number 1. So when we go to start this, all the time is that we're going to focus on getting these stitches in right. So the first one is chaining a 3, 1, 2, and 3, and into the exact same stitch right there, right underneath, you're going to add 2 more double crochets in there. So that gives you your total count of 3. Now if you were doing the back loops for the ridging, this is where you'll start. So every stitch consists of 2 strands on top. You really can't see it here with this type of yarn, but if you dive into the first strand like this, this is the front loop, and if you dive in and get the other strand, it's the back loop. So you could just do back loops double crochet, or regular just double crochet with regular stitches and just crochet along. I'm doing the back loops here just to kind of give you an indication. So I'm looking for the final turning chain, so I'm not counting, I'm just looking. And in the final turning chain, you go into the top of the turning chain. Don't go into a back loop only, just go right into a regular turning chain, and you want to double crochet 3 times. So on the very first and the last stitch, you're not worrying about doing back loops if you are deciding to go that route for your particular pattern, like this. So you can still see it has its 90-degree angle. Let's turn our work and go for the next row. So the rows always start off the same. So chaining a 3, double crochet into the same stitch underneath 2 more times to give you a count of 3 on the edge. Okay, and then you just double crochet once in each. So I'm just gonna go into regular stitches this time. I decided that the ridges kind of look neat, and it really gives the indication of doing corner to corner. Again, that's your creativity, you can decide what's right for you. So I'm really not counting, because I'm just looking for the final turning chain in order to add in 3. Okay, so I got 1 more to go, so I still have the turning chain. So turning chain, the last one, just go right into the chain itself, and double crochet 3 times. So you're going to do this until you get to the size that you want, and then you're gonna start decreasing. So if you were doing a rectangle, one side you're going to continue to put in 3 double crochets so it continues to grow, and on the other side you're gonna start doing the decrease. Let me show you how to do the rectangular format first, and then I'm gonna show you how to do a square format next. So if you're gonna do this as a rectangle, I'm gonna turn my work and I'm gonna commit that this side is gonna be the one that's gonna increase. So this will give me the length of the bed. Okay, this is the width of the bed. Okay, I'm just making that up. You can decide if it's the other way around for you. It's up to you. So I'm gonna chain 3 and I'm going to put in 3 double crochets into that same stitch. So this side is gonna continue to increase to grow taller, and I'm gonna put double crochets all the way to the other side except for the final 3. Where the final 3 I'm gonna start applying the decrease in order to stop it from growing any wider. Okay, so I only want it taller, I don't want it wider at this particular point. Okay, so I'm gonna look for the final 3 stitches that are in the final. So I'm gonna look for it here. So I got the turning chain is 1, I got the next 2, so I have 1 more to go before I start the decrease, and I'm gonna do 3 together decrease. So I wrap the hook going into the next stitch, pull through 2 and hold. Wrap the hook going into the next stitch, pull through 2 and hold. Wrap the hook and going into the final turning chain, pull through 2 and hold. There's 4 on the hook, wrap and pull through all 3. And so you can just kind of see it just started building up on the other side. So if it's a rectangle, this side is gonna continue just to go straight up, so it's not growing out any further in this direction. The one is gonna continue to get taller for the length of the bed here. So let's show you how to start with the decrease. So we're gonna chain up 3, and the next stitch available to you, okay, just watch this, is right here in here. Okay, it's not the same one as that you had before. Okay, and I did the diagram. So wrap into the next stitch, pull through 2 and hold. Wrap, next stitch, pull through 2 and hold. There's only 3 loops on the hook this time. Wrap and pull through all 3. And we're gonna double crochet ourselves all the way to the other side. Do you see that? See how it's going straight up now? You will notice that it has a nice rounded edge here. That's just the way that this project works. If you have anything different, it's up to you. It's not necessarily a pointy edge. You can apply a border to this if you wish. At the end there's instructions available on that as well. So I'm going all the way to the other side. I want to continue to make this longer for my bed. So I just go to the final turning chain, and the final turning chain I'm going to apply another 3 double crochets in there to keep that going up and making it longer. So do you see that? That's how you do it. So this would be how you would do the rectangle, and once you're both satisfied you're gonna then start doing the decrease on both sides. So it's just like how I just started and to show you. So what if this was an actual blanket that you wanted to keep square? Let me pull out my work and show you what to do if you want to keep it square instead of doing a rectangular format just like this, and the ending is still exactly the same. So I'm pulling out my work, frogging it, yes I know, but this is part of the educational platform here. And so this time I'm going back to where I was, where it was both sides were completely even with each other, and you can see it's right here. So let's pretend this was square, and it is square now. So we're completely satisfied. It's like the diagram that I showed you, is that it's completely equal on both sides. So in order to keep it square, in order to go in the square format, we're gonna decrease on both sides. So we chain up 3 on this side, and we come into the next stitch. So you see how there's 3 here? We come into the next one, wrap, pull through 2 and hold, and do the next one, wrap, pull through 2 and hold. There's only gonna be 3 loops on the hook, wrap and pull through. And I'm going to just double crochet myself across like this. So I'm looking for the final 3 stitches where I'm gonna put 3 of those together with a 3 together decrease for double crochet. So I'm just going all the way across, and I'm just kind of looking for it. So the turning chain is 1, the next one is 2, the next one is 3. So I have 1 more to go before I do that. So the next 3 are going to be together. So how I do that is wrap the hook into the stitch, pull through 2 and hold, wrap next stitch, pull through 2 and hold, and then wrap into the final chain, pull through 2 and hold. This time there will be 4 loops on the hook. So when we start there will only be 3, and when we do this side there will always be 4. Wrap and pull through all 4. Let's turn our work. So we're gonna get smaller and smaller. So how we start again is chaining a 3, and we come and make the next 3 together. So what you have to watch for, do you see this here? This is part of that. So we have to jump to the next 2 that are available to you. So skip all of this. It's part of the same stitch. You're not really skipping it, just overlook it so you don't get the wrong one. So wrap, pull through 2, going into the next one, pull through 2 and hold, pull through all 3 loops. Okay? And then double crochet yourself across to the final 3. Like this. So I'm looking for the final 3. So do you see how that these 3 are all together like this? That's only 1 stitch at the top. Okay, so all these 3 are just 1. So I'm looking for the final 3, and I'm actually looking at the final 3. So I got 1, 2, and 3. So I want to bring those together. So wrap, pull through 2 and hold, wrap, pull through 2 and hold, and wrap, pull through 2 and hold, and then pull through all 4. Turn our work. You can see it's getting more and more narrow. So chain up 3. Okay, the next 2 are going to be together. So this is all part of 1. So the next 2 are going to be together. So just wrap, pull through. So every time you get more narrower, you're going to get less and less stitches here, and so you have the final 2 here. Okay, wrap and pull through, and then so you can see then it's just a complete corner just like this, and you can see it's a slightly askew. That's a part of the pattern properties to it, but this is completely done. You just have to fasten off and enjoy your new project. If you chain up 3 and do another one next, you're gonna have a real big point on this side, and you can see all the other sides are kind of rounded, so it would look really awkward if you did that. So this would be how you complete a corner to corner. You're gonna have really great looks with this, with variegated yarn and doing the back loops like I had showed you. You have a really amazing look, and you can go as big as you need to, and when you do back loops it has stretching properties to it as well, and it will be extremely soft at the same time. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Yarnspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.